Hey, it's Birdman for Birdman on the Mountain, and we're hanging out here at the Birdman Media Studios. This is, of course, on WMI television and also on Sholo TV. So, hello to all the viewers out there. If you're listening, we love you as well. Don't worry about it. Hey, hanging out here in the studio today, I've got a new software program, so having fun with that. Got Kirk Webb, and I've got JD Pepper. How are you, sir?
Doing well.
Both with Timber Mesa.
Yes.
Fire and Medical District, right? Did I say it right?
One.
I think I got it all.
You got it all
It's
in
a
there.
mouthful.
That's a lot of words.
It's alphabet soup.
Right.
Hey, don't try to do their Wi-Fi password. You'll get lost.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right?
so you guys are in. We're going to talk a little bit about fire itself, but then we
Yep.
get something cool to talk about. So let's talk
Absolutely.
about the serious
Fire
stuff
season
first. Yeah, what's happening?
It's coming on us pretty rapidly.
Yeah.
And we've got fires throughout the state. Neighboring states and Mexico's got a few fires going. It's that time of year. Unfortunately, it's a little sooner than normal. We're dry.
Yeah, we're kind of aware we didn't get any snow or real precipitation in the last, I don't know, like forever.
Yeah,
Right.
we've got a few teaser storms, and they have helped. But we still need more for sure. But it's a great time, especially with it warming up. Get out there and clean your yards. Make that defensible space around your homes. Protect your property. We can't do our job very well if the homeowners don't do their job and clean up their property.
Right. Hey, one of the things I didn't even realize until I moved into a trailer, for the studio here is skirting's kind of important because stuff that gets under the trailer,
Becomes tinder.
yeah, and it could be miles away that the fire's going, and ember comes, floats, boom, and boom, you've gotten a trailer.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely. Sealing off those spaces, and that's so when we're out there in the public and talking to homeowners, those under the decks areas, especially the ones where you just got just a tiny bit of room, so it probably never gets cleaned out. That's where all the leaves, the trash, the debris blows under there, and that's exactly where the embers go to from miles away. Several homes throughout every year get lost simply because of that. Or the other simple one is needles and debris on the roof and in
Yeah.
the gutters. If you think about it, the rain gutters, what are they attached to? That fascia board, right? And that fascia board gets a lot of moisture, and that moisture is what breaks down the wood. So it becomes, there again, some nice, easy tinder, and especially if there's pine needles in the gutters, it's easy for a fire to get started right there. Doesn't take much.
yeah. So everybody do this, and do it respectfully, but nicely, but just make it part of the normal conversation with everybody you have day to day, especially when they're out of town. Say, hey, you going camping? Yeah, please put out your fire. Please put out your fire. Please put out your fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fact, we were JD's shift, and was the other night we went on one that just south of Scotch Reservoir. Obvious little campfire, and it's very obvious that they did not even attempt to extinguish it properly.
They stacked rocks on top of it, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Just they took their fire. It was great. They made their little fire ring with rocks on top of this rock ledge. Looked great, but then to extinguish it, yeah, they just stacked the rocks from the ring on top of
Top of
the
the
ashes.
So basically, you made it more heating device. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could actually see the trail where the ashes went down and started a fire down below.
Obviously, right now, we're coming into our windy season, so we're having winds pretty much every day and every night now. And the other night out there was no exception. The wind, I'm sure, just blew some of the embers out onto the surrounding duff and lit it up.
And luckily, some campers at the reservoir campground there, they saw the glow, called it in. We had a hike in a couple of different directions, and yeah, so it's that time of year, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, just make sure you're bringing it up, and don't feel like you're bringing it up too much. And the easiest thing I say is if you wouldn't put your hands in it when you're all done, if you're not going to take your hands without gloves and put them into the fire, it's not out yet.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to be able to touch it and feel that it's cold.
Right.
Small embers can hide in the very center of that, and that's why you got to stir it. You got to use lots of water, dirt. It's great, but yeah, it was obvious there was no water put onto this or nothing. And something else that to kind of maybe calm nerves of our community here. Forest Service is ramping up their efforts. They're actually having the towers being manned.
Oh,
They're
wow.
putting people in there as of April 15th, I believe, is the day they're talking about, rather than May 15th.
That's
So they're
really
bringing them a
good.
month early.
Yeah.
You know, so Juniper Ridge and up on Sponsler, or so those, you know, that's, we're going to have some extra eyes out there watching for these types of things.
That's that prevention thing. That's
Yes.
an ounce of prevention. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Versus fighting it later. That's good. And then, of course, how soon do you think we'll be? You know, you said something earlier to me about we're at an alert sort of level, but not. We haven't moved into stage 1 or stage 2 or anything like that.
No, our fire danger level, which is, you see those out there on the signs along the roadway.
That's the Smoky Bear.
Yeah, the Smoky
little-
Bear, and they
yeah.
give you the indication. Well, today they're actually moving the fire danger up into high.
Okay.
That's one of the things that we look at as we're, you know, when it gets into that very high or extreme, those are times when the Forest Service can start looking. That's one of the requirements that needs to be met to start shutting things down too. So they look at a whole lot of a wide gambit of things that's going to close forests.
Right.
They put science behind when they're doing this. It's not just because it's an economic thing. Economics does play into a part of that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different things, the science and how dry things are, the winds, how many fire occurrences we're having, things like that. So there's a lot of things that are taking place. But
One good thing to mention that you probably should mention is our burn line, because one of the other fires that we had the other night was due to a citizen burning the debris that they were trying to clear off of their property.
Right.
So we do have a burn line, if you want to explain
yeah,
that.
and so our burn line basically lets people know, because we do allow debris burning of people cleaning their yards and the debris that comes off of that.
Right.
Although I wonder how many people don't realize that we actually have some green waste places that don't really charge a whole lot of money, but
No,
you got to
right.
haul it to them.
Right.
And that's the safest way to get rid of it, to be honest. That if everybody did that, it'd make my life a little easier. But managing this burn line, it becomes difficult because we have to look at the weather, the temperatures, things like that. That, you know, and there's a difference between fire danger and just winds out there and things like that. So here again, there's a lot of thought go into when we open this burning and being allowed people to have that as an option to clean up their yards. So this number, 367-3473 or 367-FIRE,
Right.
that's our way of letting the public know, hey, today's an okay day to burn or not. Things like that. Sometimes we even change typically it's from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is the burning hours. Right. I think today might be the last day I actually have a little opening, and it's only open from 6 to noon.
Okay.
Because the winds are going to be picking up, and in fact they're projected tomorrow and Thursday being really bad. So you know, we look at all those different kinds of things. So
Okay. Cool. But just be aware, know what's going on, and you know, if you see smoke or you see something, go investigate it, figure it out, and don't. Oh wow, I saw that, and then the forest burns down. That's
call us.
not fun.
yeah, don't hesitate to call and have us go check it out. That's what we're here for. That's our jobs.
Yeah. Otherwise, they have to go grocery shopping or something. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways,
have to do that.
so let's talk about some of the fun things, and we're going to shift. And this is White Mountain Fire and life safety educators, and it's shifting away because what we're going to talk about now is, and we talk about fundraising, we talk about that. We're going to talk about things that are nothing to do with the tax or anything like that.
Correct.
These are going to be done from donations and people giving their time or giving or money or things like that.
Right.
You got an old fire truck, and I'll throw a picture up and show you this fire truck that they had, and you had it for some time, right?
Yeah, this the fire truck that we have is a 1943 Chevy, and it actually was Sholo Fire's pumper at one point back in when they, if I remember correctly, Sholo Fire began in 1951, I think, if I was correct.
Okay.
So this is one of the very first pumpers that they have, not the first one, but one in their fleet. As time went on, they got rid of it and actually sold it to Joe City. Back when I was with Lakeside Fire, our very first pumper was a 1942 Chevy. We actually had found the remnants of that truck, and we still have it. But we wanted to do a restoration project on that truck. So we began doing some fundraising with that. And then we heard about how Joe City had Sholo's old truck, which was, they're only a year difference and basically identical.
Cool.
and they wanted to sell it. So we actually purchased that with the money we had raised to restore at that time, because this truck was still running. And now that we've merged, this truck has kind of made full circle, and it's still, and I use this all the time in all of my public education events, going to the schools, out in public. You see it in the Christmas light parade.
Yep.
Just last weekend, I hauled the Easter bunny into the Pinetop Lakeside town Easter egg hunt thing. So it gets a lot of exposure. JD here, he's been wanting to. So he's been spearheading this project to kind of vamp up this restoration of this truck. He's got some great ideas, and as we're going around talking to different people in the public and whatnot, we've got some pretty good sizable donations to, I mean, we're going to ramp this up.
It's going to start really quick.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
it
So
got-
actually somebody came in and did a pretty big chunk and just said,
It
hey,
did. It kind of breathed life into the program itself, and it just kind of, it's now taken on its own kind of life form, I guess, if you will. And
right.
It's almost pushing itself.
So once we get this going, in fact, we were talking this morning a little bit about maybe even making a Facebook page or something like that, so people can see the actual progress as things go along, and if they want to, because we're always going to take donations if people want to help support this. It's a great looking truck.
Yeah, just do me a favor. Don't do an internet contest to name it, please.
Oh, we're not,
Because it'll
no.
be McTruckin, McStuffin, something stupid. So
We're-
you don't get to name it.
Yeah, we're not doing a naming thing on this. This is our antique truck. Honestly, that has never even crossed my mind. So
And just in case somebody brings it up in a meeting, be like, no. And if you need any references as to why not to do that, I'll shoot them over at you.
well, and some of the concept on this restoration project, as we're going through, and he's describing some of it to me, what he'd like to do with the motor and the transmission
Yeah.
and everything, and lightening up by, keeping all the outside fixtures so that it still looks like a fire truck, but it's not going to have working pump
Right,
components, things
right.
like that. But as I'm talking with him, and my thought was, man, we've got this safety trailer. How cool would it be to pull that safety trailer with this truck
Yeah, that would be cool.
and go to our different events with that?
This truck goes to, for all the fire prevention, and the White Mountain Fire and Life Safety educators are, and Kirk spearheads this. They're the ones that do the education at the, the school levels, and even other community events, like the bike rodeos and so on and so forth. So we want to spread that message of, fire prevention and life safety, to our entire community. We were talking about cleaning up your property, or if you see smoke, letting everybody out. We all live here. Us as firefighters, we live here too. We're part of the community, and this is a program that breaks down those social barriers that maybe sometimes exist between a citizen and if you want to call it a government entity or a department such as the fire department. This is a good way to break that down and to garner the interest in the fire prevention program by, hey, come on over and take a look at the truck, which right now, just the way that it sits, and it's in pretty poor shape.
Yeah.
It still runs, but she does leak a lot of oil. But people come and they want to see it. They want to look at it and they want to talk about it. Where did this truck come from? What's it? What's under the hood? So in order to facilitate putting our message out there and talking to people about fire safety and things like that, this is a good segue into doing that. And the kids absolutely love it.
Yeah,
Not to
absolutely.
mention, we have 2 big car shows that I know of here locally.
Yep.
That we'd like to be able to put that in as well.
They sort of bookend the community
Right.
in a way. So.
And, I mean, and like you said, it is a great icebreaker. People, as I'm driving this truck up and down the highways and stuff, and I get the thumbs up all the time, and people honking and smiling. So it's a great way, because people, it is cool, and
Right.
people want to come check it out, and so it's going to be easy to break that barrier of, hey, so what else do you got to, we can talk about these different things that are important, to, fire danger, things like that.
Cool. So if somebody wants to donate, you're gonna set up a Facebook page possibly, or right now where do they go?
This is still kind of a little bit in a thought process, but they
Right.
can contact us there at the fire department.
Okay.
And this White Mountain Fire and Life Safety Educators, it's just a corporation we created to.
Right.
It's a nonprofit. So if people want to donate to it, they can get a tax write-off on it,
Okay.
and so but they can contact me through the station.
Okay.
Is the easiest way.
One of the other things that we're doing, as far as the donations are concerned, we getting ready to order a reproduction 1950s Texaco Fire Chief gas pump.
Nice.
Just like the the
Right.
restored ones. This is a reproduction. The globe lights up. Anyways, we're going to be selling tickets for those.
Oh, good.
For
Okay.
to raffle it off, and I'm hoping to have that done either by the end of the Run to the Pines car show or sometime
Yeah,
in
just make sure
October.
it's not over 8 feet because
Yeah,
then you
that's
don't
your
get into
ceiling
houses.
height?
Well, yeah, no, ceiling heights. No, I'm just telling you because then
Yeah.
people it actually
No,
reduces your raffle.
this one's not. It's
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's right around 6 foot. Somewhere
Yeah,
around
there you go.
So
Cool. Yeah, no, there was a couple of years ago they had a 10-foot one and it was like,
Oh, wow.
it literally people wouldn't raffle because like, where am I going to put it? And it was like, yeah, good point. Yeah,
Just cut off the bottom 2 feet, right?
no,
Yeah.
I've got interest in the fire in the I'm sorry in the gas pump from all over.
I bet.
People want to buy the raffle tickets for that. It's a real popular item.
yep, they are very cool. Awesome. Well, Kirk, thank you very much. JD, thank you for your time.
bet.
Appreciate it. We'll get you the information out there, show you some photos of it, and we'll try to follow this as it progresses. That'll be, I think, kind of cool.
It's going to be
I
really
like
cool.
the Facebook
Yeah,
page idea.
and we'll keep up with you, and as things, once we, because we want to do a little media presentation with
Right.
our donor once we got that all squared away, and make sure to get them the credit they deserve. We're going to start going around to some of the dealerships and places like that, and garner some more help.
Very cool.
And so we want to make sure everybody gets credit. We're talking about making a plaque.
Yeah.
That once we're all done with this whole project, everywhere we go, we can set this plaque out, and people know who helped make this possible.
Very good. Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen, for your
You
time.
bet. Thank you.
Hey, so hang out. And we're going to have another person here in just a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, still hanging out here in the studio, and joining me now, I have Miss Vicky Solomon. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you very much for having me.
Not a
Appreciate ya.
problem. So what's happening? I've been seeing lots of stuff from you guys.
Lots of stuff going on. So I just wanted to come talk to you today. We have on Friday the 13th, we have a fundraiser, and it is for the Safe House, White Mountain Safe House.
Okay.
Change Point has bought them out and just kind of revamping that program. And then also we have our Junior Leadership Academy that we are having our 12th year in June, where we have right around 90 kids participate in a 2-week program. So this fundraiser is going to be for them and also Change Point. We're bringing in Martha Teeter. Fantastic. And it's at Torion, Friday the 13th at 6:30.
Very cool. Awesome. And that's pretty straightforward then, huh?
Straightforward.
What was the cost again?
It is $50 a plate.
Okay.
And you can go online, ncdp.rocks, or you can email me, vsncdp@gmail.com.
Very cool. Awesome. Anything else exciting happening?
Well, we're doing a pain management seminar the next day, which is Saturday, April 14th. It'll be at Torion. This one's from 10 to 3, and her husband, Dr. Don Teeter, will be there talking about pain management and different options for that.
Yeah, and that's kind of important in this day and age. Keep yourself out of trouble with
Yes.
the drugs and things like that.
Absolutely. And it's free.
And,
And
it's
we're
free.
feeding you
That's
lunch.
free. Wow.
And we're feeding you
And
lunch.
free lunch. So there you
Yes.
go. So go support them the night before, split the difference, and say, yeah, there
There
you
you go. Thank you.
go. Dinner and lunch. Gotcha. Cool. Thank you,
Perfect.
Vicky.
You bet.
Anything else, or that was just a quick in and out?
You know what? Just real quick, we're doing our art contest.
Okay.
Kids are participating kindergarten through 12th grade. And White Mountain Independent is fantastic. They put
Yes.
this art together with the kids' information in it. And anyways, that art contest is going on. It's in the schools. If you know of anybody K through 12 that wants to participate, $100 for the first prize, $75 for second, and $50 for third.
Very good.
And then one last thing is National Drug Take Back Day on the 28th on Saturday. Please go through your medicine cabinets and get rid of all your drugs.
All those things just hanging out.
Yep, absolutely.
Very good. Thank you, Vicky,
That's
very
it.
much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
You bet.
So, hey, that's going to be it for this week's Community Shout. I'm going to remind you, if you want to come in and talking about an event, an activity, or something's going on, it's free. You come over there, sit down at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays. Any Tuesday will work. And then, of course, if you want to watch the show or pass it around, it's on the Facebook page of Birdman Media. It's on the Facebook page of WMI-TV, and then also on their website as well. Additionally, you can find it on Sholo TV. They're going to be moving to HD here soon, so we'll be seeing even bigger and better graphics and stuff like that. Hey, Birdman reminding you, if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web.